Hi everybody, and welcome to my little corner of YouTube. Today we will be planning April projects. This is episode 17. We have lots to talk about today because like 15 minutes ago, Ravelry just announced their dark mode, and I'm so excited about it. It's not like a true black, it's dark blue. It's a very, very dark blue, and dark blues. So if you haven't seen it yet, it's right on their landing page. When you sign in, it's right on the beginning page. I really, really like it because I like things all, dark and stuff. So it's, oh my God, I just love it so much. I love it. I love it so much. Because I have dark mode on everything that you can have dark mode on. So anyway, hopefully that might help some of the issues that people were having with, I don't know, migraines or something. I don't know. I don't have migraines, so I don't know what the thing was about. I could still use it, so I'm not quite sure what the whole deal. Okay, so what do we talk? I went right in. I was so excited about Ravelry dark mode. I just skipped over everything else. Okay, so we did that. So let's, we have 2 finished items already, y'all, because this is Michelle. Now this was start to finish following my pattern, and I took measurements when I blocked her. She comes out huge. She really comes out huge. It's like my whole body. But then you put it up and it comes up a little bit. Her measurements were okay. Here's how I measure. I measure from my wingspan. I do from the side out and then from the side out. From the middle to the side and then from the middle to the side, because my arms aren't big enough to go like all the way out like this. Because I'll be on the floor like this trying to measure. So this is Michelle, 29 and 29. So not quite 60, 58. 58 across. Depth of 29, and then both sides were 41. So 41 here, 41 here. So she came out pretty symmetrical, and I'm sure that's due to all the yarn overs, all the mesh lace. So what we got with her is I got 5 repeats. 5 repeats. And at the end of our 5th repeat, which would be somewhere in here, 8 rows of this, 8 holes. 8 holes. I had 23 grams left. So that was a lot. But it wasn't enough to do another repeat of the stocking knit and this, because my last repeat was 27. So my last repeat of the stocking knit with the 8 holes of mesh was 27 grams, because I think that one started with 50-ish. Yeah, 50-ish. So this was 30, gave me 39, 23. So the double, 2 of them, the 2 was 27 grams. So since I had 23 grams left and I knew I needed about 12-ish for the end, 10, 12-ish, I did extra mesh repeats, okay? So we got down to 13 holes, and then let me see if I can show you this, because this might make sense if you can see this. Okay, so here were my it's not gonna work because I have to be off camera so you can. Okay, so here was where I left off with 2330. So then I did 1 hole, 2 holes, 3, where am I at? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 holes. Okay. So I ended with, here's 12. 1213 was my gram after the 13 holes. So this is how much my little bit of my cake weighed, and then this is how much each row took up. Okay. Then at the back, here we go. I just have to come underneath. We have, see how I mark my ridges? So there's 1 ridge, 2 ridge, and a 3 ridge. Those are my garter ridges. Remember, I'm always talking about I want 3 garter ridges. So after the last hole, this is a 2 row because this is the front that gives us the mesh hole, and then the back that closes the hole up. So after that we had a knit on the right side, knit on the wrong side, knit on the right side, knit on the wrong side, knit on the right side, knit wrong side, and then we had, did I do an extra knit row? No, I did a bind off. So at 404 we did a bind off that took up this much, and we were left with 156. 156 was our leftover for her. Okay, a little bit more than I'd like to, but because I don't think I could have even put in another right side row. No, I could have, but I didn't want to. I could have, but I didn't want to because it was looking too nice and I didn't want to put in another knit row. So I could have, but I was like, she's long enough. I don't want to. So this is Michelle. She will be available to test my test knit along whenever you guys want to. Actually, just come into the Ravelry group and say, hey, where's the test knit for Michelle? But if not, I'll probably plan to let it out on April. And we have one tester who's testing, Eleanor. So that's all I got. Okay. So that is that one. So I guess with that being the 13, I added the 13 holes. Now that's with 463-ish yards. So if you wanted to do a 437 or 450, my other two, the Cascade and the, I can't find the Allegria one, but those were done on smaller yardage, less yardage, fewer yards, right? So this still has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this has the 8. So I think we'll still be able to get the eight holes even if you are using a lesser yardage, maybe 437. I'm not sure that I'd go too far. We'll have to have someone test a 437 and see how far they get. But I had wanted to see how far I could get with the extra yardage, because I had done them on the smaller yardage. I think the other one was 54, but I just cut it off at the end. I didn't even do anything. Plus that one was a different pattern. The Allegria has 7 holes or something, but the black one is my actual pattern. Okay, so March die project. This endless winter, you guys. Look at all that is happening in this. Like, oh my goodness, right? And I can just imagine, like, if this is on less contrasting colors, how beautiful this is going to look. I think this has more of this striping than any of the other ones. So therefore, this is my favorite so far. So I'm really excited to put this up against February's, which is the it's this but 2 color. So I think putting that 3rd color in just, like, do you wonder now if these blue and gray, this would have been a red patch, but it just would have been a patch from 2 separate reds. So what is funny to me is that the black was the same. So the black was the same amount as the other one, and I'm not seeing as much black as we had in the other one. So I don't know how that happened. I think it was down there a little bit, but there is not, I don't think there's as much, but I can't wait to get these all next to each other and to see how they're the same, how they're different. I want to compare them so badly. But this one is my favorite. I just wish I had picked colors I liked, because I will never wear this. I'm gonna have to make another one just for me, because I hate these colors. But I'm thinking of like a really dark green and a really dark purple, like darker than Halloweeny, like those same Halloweeny colors but dark. I think for this, I think that would be fantastic. For this, everything the same. Our leftover was 0.7 grams. And this, we got our 3 ridges, and then we bound off after the 3rd ridge. So I think one of them we had enough to do another knit row, but most of them I think we're binding off right at the 3rd, after the 3rd ridge. Very excited about this. Very, very, very super happy with how this came out. Oh, anyway, what am I wearing? Since I didn't do that at the beginning, this is Color Field by Kemper Ray. It is a paid pattern. It is $6.50. It is on Madtosh DK Twist. Oh, of course. This one does, this magnet does not like DK at all. So sad for me. Just ruined it all, didn't it? Gee, you don't even want to know how long it took me to line those up. It was a long time. I can't see it. Okay, try not to touch it. Yeah, Madcot. My favorite thing about this was this. It's like, I'm trying to remember. It's almost a ribbing, but it's not a ribbing. And I really, I don't remember what it was, but I remember really enjoying this part. My least favorite part is this yarn. I hated this yarn. Absolutely hate this yarn. Not a fan. So I would make this again, just not in the Madtosh DK twist. Also really sucked is cutting the yarn after all, lots of ends to weave in, but there's enough of, let's go farther down, there's enough of it that you can go back in and do it on the, the color side, so it wasn't terribly bad. But that's like however many, that's two ends each one, each thing. This is Cascade. Oh, guys, I'm out of, this is my last Cascade top. Almost done. Well, not really almost done. I'll have this done next week, because I haven't even added in the second one yet. So that's everything we had planned for this month, except for my test knit. My test knit is not yet finished, but it will be probably this week. I'm assuming this week or next week. So that means I have like a whole week, because it's Wednesday. So I have like a whole week of what am I going to do with myself. So I have a couple options. My first option is Oink Pigments Mint something. Mint to be Oink Pigments. If you remember, I have made these in the bias, but stockinette and ex-boyfriend sweater and this pumpkin something. So I'm thinking this because we know how I love mint green and how I love wearing black with my mint green. So, and this will be a quick one. So I think once my top is done, I'm going to cast this on, or maybe the weekend, because I don't have a weekend project now. Oh, Michelle took me 8 days. That was eight weekend days. And remember the one weekend I had a flare, so I only did like one lace repeat. I didn't even do like a whole, so it would have been done sooner. My other idea is, this is Descent from Laughing Cat Fibers. This is a cashmere, her cashmere base. And I was thinking of making this a hat because I don't have a cashmere hat, and I was originally got this to make Eleanor a cashmere shawl, but since the colors are so similar, and I mean this looks like it's got a bit of black, so I don't want that with the old shale. So I was kind of like, what do I do with this? So I think I want a cashmere hat, especially. Okay. You may notice my hair is different today. And I kind of want to warn you because I have a very noticeable undercut during the warm months that is going to be recut. I don't cut it during the winter because I don't like when my head's cold. So that's why I've been wearing all those things, because this is all growing out crazily. So I haven't cut this since Halloween, I think. And it goes all the way around. So I thought if I had a cashmere hat, that would probably feel really good on my shaved head. Because I go down pretty far. I mean, I don't shave it with like a razor, but a buzzer without a thing on it. That's how I like it. So hopefully, probably not next time, but the time after that, my hair should be looking how it usually looks. And I'm only mentioning that to you because I once saw a therapist for a whole like fall and winter time when I would wear hats. Um, so like the first really nice spring day that we had, I came in with my hair pulled back and, the whole, my sides and the back shaved. And I thought my therapist was going to have a heart attack. Like she was like, are you okay? Do we need to talk about something? So she ended up leaving that clinic that I went to. And so when I went to see my current therapist, the very first appointment, I went in with my hair up so you could see that I had it all shaved underneath and that it was really, really long, because I didn't want to give her a heart attack the next time. So don't have a heart attack and nothing's wrong. That is how my hair is all the time. It's too long and I can't hide it in a headband anymore, so it's driving me crazy. I hate this under when it gets too long. I hate it. But this should be dyed too, hopefully. Anyway, I was thinking it would be nice to have a cashmere hat for my head when it gets all, so. But then I really wouldn't be wearing this again until the fall. So I don't know if I'm going to start this right now or just put it away as this is a cashmere shawl that will make late summer, maybe. Late summer we'll make this into, I think this will be a pretty hat. Shawl. Also, what I just heard about is Perfectly Knotted. I saw on Instagram, has a compass sweater. So go on Instagram, look at Perfectly Knotted. She is having a knit along for her compass sweater, which is it is a bulky top-down raglan V-neck, which are all my favorite things except for the bulky. But I have a bunch of bulky. I have a bunch of bulky yarns. And what do I do with these? I don't know. It's got a split hem, but whatever. You can make it cropped, you can make it long, whatever. It's size inclusive. Their smallest size is a 30, and it's meant to be worn with 2 to 4 inches ease. Hold on, I got it open right here. Sizes offer 30 up to 70 inches. And she says some of the sizes 62, 66, and 70 are untested. So if you are interested in knitting the compass sweater in one of those sizes, please let me know and I will give the pattern to you in exchange for feedback. So there you go. Okay, these measurements are for the finished bust size in inches, and the sweater is designed for 2 to 6 inches of positive ease. So, to determine the best size for you, measure your actual bust in inches and add 2 to 6 inches, depending on how fitted you want the sweater to be. So, yeah. I don't like things with positive ease. Because remember when we talked about superwash in my sweater and I made it fit me like a glove, and then you block it and it goes woof, and then it fits fine. So that's kind of what I'm planning to do with this one. But we know how bulky it is, and I'm not good with gauge. So I have these, let me find one with a label. Barocco Ultra Wool Chunky. I have 4 skeins in black and 2 skeins in green, and I bought these when my LYS was going out of business. Cause I waited to give everyone a chance to, cause she went out of business over a while, a few weeks, a month, maybe 2 months. So I was like letting everyone get a chance to buy up the colors and stuff, and then I would buy what was left over because I always buy black. And like I got some sour cherry or black cherry, some cherry fingering, but Barocco is really not one of my favorite brands, if I'm being honest. Just not my favorite. But I wanted to support her and help her, so I have like a bunch of this, and I have that chain, the chain ones. I don't know where they are, but I think I took all my chunky or my bulky and put it somewhere else so it wouldn't take up space. So I have some of those too. So I was thinking top down raglan. That's really easy for me to change the sizing on, because I understand how that's constructed. So I'm going to make this one and then see how it fits. And because it's a knit along, did I mention that? It's a knit along till May 31st. So that gives me plenty of time. So I am going to start this. I bought the pattern today, and I'm going to start this. So if you go on her Ravelry Group, who did I say she was? Perfectly Knotted. Perfectly Knotted. If you want to make a bulky raglan pullover. I do, because I hate, you know me, I hate weaving in ends, and I am certainly not going to sew parts together. That is no. So I wanted to use up all this bulky, and so, oh, you haven't seen this bag yet, guys. This is, oh my god, this is gonna get her all of it. This is my other Maleficent bag. You know, my Maleficent bag that I love. This is the one that I made her make. This is the one I made her make for me. And she's like showing me all these dark colors. There's a Maleficent, and I was like, I'll take that, please. And look at the inside. It's perfect. It is so perfect. And this has 6 skeins of bulky in it right now. 6 skeins of, and isn't it gorgeous? Look at that. Oh my god. Can't you just, she's so pretty. Isn't she just the most gorgeous dragon you ever saw? Prettiest dragon. I love her so much. See, I don't see Diablo on here, which is a little bit of a, no Diablo. He gets left out a lot of times, but that's okay. I've been waiting forever it only took 17 episodes for you to see my favorite bag. Anyway, so let's talk about April, shall we? What was I talking? So yeah, I think I am going to start this shawl. I think I'm going to wait for the hat, because the hat, I'm on the fence with. I want to make that one hat that everyone's making, that is an inside out hat, where you start at the one end and then you go all the way. You start at the top and you make increases, and then it's a hat, and then you keep going, and then you make the decreases from the inside of the hat. Because I'm not sure, I don't like to switch fibers in a project, and I know that in a lot of people's, they didn't make yardage, or they ran short of yardage for it, so some people ended up finishing in a different color, which was essentially the inside of the hat, so it doesn't even matter. But my thing is that I would really like to use the same base, like the same fibers, and I don't think I have any cashmere just lying around. So I'm trying to think of what I've made, and I don't have any just lying around. So that's one thing holding me back of making that one. So, but I'm not sure if it would be necessary if I could just, because I'll put in a lifeline and I will rework those, you know, I have no problem redoing those decreases until I've used up every little bit of yarn. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what I do, right? I want that little bit that's just enough to tie in. And I mean, decreases on hat do not take long at all. So the only thing keeping me is that I probably won't wear this until late May. Like we might not do this to May, June, July. Probably July. It'll probably be like the last project I do for our summer projects. But this probably is going to get cast on this weekend. So this will be a project for today. I mean, for what month are we in? March. We're in March. Because that won't take me very long. And if I have my test knit done and my top done, I'm going to have nothing. Like, this can be my nighttime. This can be anytime. It's very easy. Okay, so April. For April, I have a few tops. This is my Valley Yarn Northampton. Remember I told you about? This is what another yarn that I make my tops out of. This is Midnight Heather. It is, do you see the purple in there? It's like, it's a navy. It's not royal blue, it is a navy. And it has this heathered with this purple. I'm not normally a navy person, but I mean, Midnight Heather, I had to get it. This is Nebula Heather. So it's space, had to have it. This is gray with, oh my goodness, with some greenish and purpley-ish. I'm gonna have to take this out in the sun because, to be honest, I don't even, it's kind of turquoise and brown. I mean, turquoise and gray. Might be why it's looking green. It's like a turquoise and gray. Really, really pretty. Then I also have this from Knit Crate, Twinkle DK. This was an unboxing. Merino Wool Cashmere Instalina. I said I was going to make this into a top. This is DK weight, so this will be a top. I'm wondering if the cashmere is going to be, but I mean, I can wear it in winter anyway. I also have, this is the organic Pima cotton that I've never worked with, that I'm not sure if it's going to work as a top, but I think I'm going to try it as a top anyway, because otherwise I have no idea what to do. This is actually gray. It's not green at all. It is gray, gray, gray. Perfect. Not purple, not brown. It's a gray. It's perfect gray. Very, very nice. So we have those as tops. So I'm going to start with the Nebula, or the Northamptons, and see how that goes if we get to the Twinkle or the Pima. The Pima I'm doing last because I have two of those. I don't know what to make with Pima if I don't make a top. Because I don't really want a shawl out of cotton. So that leaves us, remember this was last month's rejected die project. It's going to be next month's die project, and I have a whole plan to do this in the next die pattern. And that's all I'm going to say about that until next week, when we talk about end of the month, beginning of the month. Now, also we have another shawl to make up. The shawl that's next that I want to make is the half stocking net and half mesh lace, which I believe I am naming Carrie, which, if you know how much I love space, you might know which Carrie I'm talking about, because it's not, anyway, you might know who that is. I just gave it away. Now, I was thinking of this because it is the same base, 463 yards. So this way I can make one of mine and still have my die project to do, and not have to do another die project of mine just to figure out, because the summer ones, the ones that are for summer, I kind of want to get that, like Michelle for sure is for summer. I'd like to get her out and ready for summer. Like, I'd like to release her in May. I like to release her in May. And this is another one I would like to release, but I would have liked to release her in the spring, but she can also be released in the autumn. I might release her in autumn on a cashmere base, like the Eleanor. I might release her in autumn with a cashmere base. So I haven't decided. Like, I haven't decided when. Okay, we're gonna segue into some business, some business news. Actually, I'm gonna put that back because I think that we're gonna wait on that one for a little bit. So what I'm wanting to do for my work through April and May is to set myself up for my business, because we're kind of coming down to the wire now. An update on the patterns. Okay. The test knits will be ongoing as knit-alongs once the testing is finished. Like, if you want to come and just test, I don't need a lot from you. I just need to know what your yardage is and how you got along. And if you were able to figure out your yardage with a scale, to, like, if that was too hard, because I want my patterns to be as accessible to people, but I also want you to be able to make it own and use whatever skein you want. And I want to kind of teach you how to measure your yarn so you can make any shawl any way you want. So with that in mind, I want to keep the test knits going until I have enough testers to give me that kind of information. So I might be able to give you a heads up in the pattern. If you have this much yardage, you will probably get this, you'll probably get this many repeats or whatever. Other than that, I do have a plan, and this is for when I have more fans, more, is fans the right word? More subscribers, more activity in my groups. I guess I'll wait to say that. But it is what I would like to do. I'll just mention it this one time, and then I'll never say it again until it's time for it to do. I would like to do a knit along that is every month. I'd like to do a knit along that is where you either use my yarn or one of my patterns or both, and each of those will give you an entry into a monthly giveaway, which might be I don't know what it will be. I don't know if it would be, I guess it depends on how, I don't know. But I'd like to have like a monthly, because that was really fun for me. I did a monthly knit along with a designer that was actually not that nice of a designer, so I only did it one time. But it was fun that if you used her things, you could get, if you finished, you got like one of her patterns for free. And then she didn't give me my pattern for free. I never heard anything about it, so I also show stuff of hers, so I'm going to stop showing stuff of hers because I don't want to like send you guys, if you guys like something, and send you guys to someone that I think does not have the best business practice. I mean, it's a little tiny thing. It really is a tiny thing. But everyone else that finished got a pattern, and I didn't get one. And then she just closed that thing. She closed that thread off after me. So I don't know if anyone else didn't get one either. So I thought that was kind of, I don't know. I thought that was kind of bad form, I guess. But then there's other, Lisa Hands, that does the brioche, all about that brioche. She usually has knit-alongs going in her group too. A lot. Do you just use any of her patterns? And I don't know that she gives you. She might give you a. Does she give you free? I don't remember. It was a while ago since I did that. But I think she has the same thing going too. So I think that's fun, and that's a way for people to, I think not just with COVID, because this was way before COVID, but for a lot of us that don't have people around us that do what we do, it's nice to have a community wherever you can find it. And so if as a designer and a dyer, I can make a safe place like that for everyone to come and, have other people that like to do what they do that will be excited about things that you are excited about. I would really like to do that. Okay, so the patterns are going to be released on Ravelry when I think they're sufficiently tested. Eleanor, I would like a few more people to test Eleanor. I would like at least one person to test Michelle. And Hillary does not need testing. Hillary, I just need to take some nice pictures and write her up, and she'll go on Ravelry. Carrie, I don't know, because I got to do her up. She's just a thought in my head. I haven't even attempted that yet, so I don't even know how that's going to go. I got to take a look at Michelle and look at some numbers and see how big the lace came out and figure all that out. So my point is, they will be up on Ravelry before they're up on the website, because the website's not ready yet, but I am hoping that by the time of our soft open in June, sometime in June, I don't think it's going to be June 1st, but sometime in June will be soft open. I'd like my patterns that are on Ravelry, whichever ones are available on Ravelry, to also be available on the website, because I know some people don't like Ravelry, and that's fine, or they can't see it, or whatever. So that's my plan for that. My other plan, update on dye patterns. Okay, there are 2 more dye patterns. So April, May, dye patterns. And then June, okay. On June, when I have the soft open, I have a specific colorway in mind that I'm hoping will launch in June for my soft open. And hopefully it's enough. So I'm going to offer that, and then also be offering my dye patterns. I'll probably do this in like a selective pre-order. I might be like, okay, I'll do like 10 pre-orders and then close it, because I don't want, like, maybe I'm being too ambitious with 10, but right now I'm planning on having maybe 10 of the ones, 9, because I'm going to use one for marketing purposes. I'm going to do it up probably in Michelle, maybe. I'm not sure yet. Maybe Michelle. And I'm only saying that because of, I think the Reina is really popular, and Michelle's really close to the Reina. It's just stocking net instead of garter, and it doesn't have it's a repeatable number. It's not like the Reina where it has like different numbers for each one. Because it looks so good on whatever you do. I think what I have in mind, it'll look really good on. Plus it's nice and summery, and I think it'll work best, but I am going to work them up probably before June, so I can have time to make a shawl out of it and see which one I want to do. Give me some time. So everything I'm doing from here on out to June is business related. So I know I really want to do that sweater, and I think on the weekend it'll be fine to do. I don't think there'll be any problems doing that on the weekends if I want to. Update on the business. Okay, so I updated you on everything. Okay, that's update on everything. I wonder if there's anything else I had to talk to you about. Okay, I told you about the knit along that I want to do. Ravelry went dark. Oh, you guys. I've been reading the prequel to Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is called Dracul. And I just want to explain that that's why I feel overly vampiric today. Which is probably closer to, I guess, what I normally look like than you've seen me before. I feel very good in my skin today. Anyway, yeah, I gotta finish that. I also wanted to say that if you go on my YouTube, am I on my YouTube? I'm not on my YouTube. Hold on, I have a personal YouTube and then I have my other YouTube. No. If you go to, hold on, if you go to my channel, no, hang on, my channel, it'll show you, here, let me turn this down so you can see. You go to my channel, it looks like this. If you go to, see this up top here, there are things here. So home and videos, list all my videos, playlists. I have playlists for you. There is learn a new skill, which has like using your scale, counting your stitches, and blocking is in there. I have one for the 2021 die project ones. I have, then the episodes is just my episodes in order. I have recommended viewing, which are videos from other people that I think you could benefit from. Channels is what I want you to know. Channels is all the people I follow, and I make this public, so if you want to know who I watch, this is who I watch. Noble Character Crafts, Heather and Hops, Knitting Traditions, Bearded Pearl. I'm trying to see where my favorites are. Chemknits, oh my god, I probably watch Chemknits more than anything. Witchy Knits, she hasn't put out one in a while, hope she's okay. Piece for Piece. Sweet Georgia. Let me tell you something. Remember that book I was telling you about? The best book I ever read about dyeing? It was by Felicia Yo. Sweet Georgia Yarns. Felicia. I think her last name is Lowe. Felicia Lowe. That is the one. And I found in the book, because I got it from the library, it's out of print, but you can get it on Kindle version on Amazon. She did say, I went through my notes from that book because I wrote down like everything, that your pH should be between 2 and 7, which is a huge. But anyway, that is the one thing I have seen. Let's see who else. Chevy Rell, Joji Locatelli. Who doesn't follow Joji Locatelli, right? Grizzly Knits I watch. I like her because she's really laid back and normal. She's really laid back and I like her. But she's like cute. I like her. Stitches and Sundries I like a lot. They also do a floss tube, which is like cross stitching and embroidery and stuff. My Yarny Corner, I watch her too. Knit 365. Woolen Vine. The Fat Squirrel Speaks. Oh my God. I am convinced that Amy Beth and I could be best friends if we just lived closer, because we're like, I think there's a state between us. But I'm convinced we could be best friends. That all that's keeping us from being best friends is distance, right? Anyway, I fangirl on her so hard. I just find her hilarious. She is like, one of those weekends I was having a really, really bad flare, and she went on, oh my God, she posted about those overalls. And I was dying. I was laughing so hard in the middle of my flare. I was in so much pain, and I was laughing so hard. I was so thankful to have that video from her on that day where I didn't know how I was going to survive the day. I was in so much pain. So that's what you guys give to me with my pain days. You give me something to look forward to. So let's see, guys. Now that I'm like crying. I'm behind. You're using a scale. April projects. Okay, so April projects. I'm not quite sure we're going to have that many because everything is kind of contingent on getting the business together. And plus, once we open up my sunroom, which will be sometime soon, I think within the next couple weeks, my sunroom is going to be open. Definitely sometime in April, my sunroom will be open. And then my days are going to mostly be dyeing. So I'm only going to be able, that whole morning spot where I work on something is going to be taken up with dyeing. So I'm going to have my right before bed and then my nighttime knitting. Because I have a bunch of swatches to do, and then I want to start doing actual colorways, because like for my half and half, that half doesn't have to be a single color. It can be a colorway. And I think I'm going to do colorways for specific seasons, and then the ones that sell well we'll keep around, but there will be some that will just be for certain seasons. I'm not going to put the seasons with anything, I don't think. I'm not going to do like a fall or a winter or spring or summer. I'm going to focus on my bases. Like we'll have heavier bases in the fall and spring, or fall and winter, and then spring and summer we'll have lighter bases. I'm also going to open up the half and halves. Won't have to be on black. They will be able to be on select grays. That I'm going to put it. That's another secret. Oops. They'll be select gray, but I don't know what grays yet because I have to finish my swatches. So we'll have a charcoal and a gray, and I think that will still be keeping with my goth thing, and I think especially for spring, or any other, because I like a dreary gray day, right? Like, you know, when it's raining in October or November, I love those gray rainy days, and I'd love to have some colors that fit that feeling. So I'm kind of excited about that. So I've got a lot of ideas to do, and I'm excited to see what colors I can make with mixing my grays with my rainbow. I'm very, very excited for that. Oh my God, I'm so excited. So we'll have a lot more colors to choose. I feel like my the dye projects that we've done so far were very basic. They're very basic colors. There were only a couple that I added black to, that, you know, to take them from the original rainbow. And I didn't have any variegation. I didn't have any, you know, special thing, but that was on purpose because I wanted to see high contrast. I wanted to see where everything was going to come out, so that if we're gonna replace one or two of these with a variegation, what would that look like? So I'm really excited to get some stuff done. And in the next dye project, I'm going to try to remember to bring in a bare yarn and show you how I section it off, just in case. So you can see if I made it easy enough that you could do it. Do I have anything else? Yeah. So the next 2 months are going to be kind of weird because I'm thinking I'm not going to have a main project, which is weird because May I had one planned. I had the Earth Star planned, and now I'm thinking that might go to June. But now I'm worried if we're going to soft open in June, if I'll be able to do the Earth Star or not. So I don't know. It seems like this whole year has been like just doing my own stuff, and it's fine, but there's a lot of other stuff I wanted to do that I'm not getting done. So I guess eventually I'll be able. Oh, did I give you I didn't give you the measurements of the March dye project. Do you want those? 27 and 27 across. So what's that? 54 across. So it's less than the Michelle. Michelle was 29. And then these sides were 39 and Michelle was 41. And then your depth was 27 and Michelle was 29. So comparable. Which isn't that weird because we had less left over. Isn't that weird? That this one's bigger even though we had less left over? But anyway, that's why if you're gonna have like a 400 yard skein, you probably want to use the Michelle. I think you get more space for your yardage, which is why I think this is like so good, universal for any yarn. I think this works really well. I'm gonna have to do this on a 400 yard to see how far I get, and I do have a 400 yard that I've been wanting to make up. So I'm going to take that out and put that out there too as an idea for that one. See, good thing I kept talking because I came up with something I had forgotten that I wanted to do. Because I really do want them to work on every skein. I want my patterns to work on every skein. That's why I want them free. I want other designers to be able to offer them, to say, oh, do you like shawls? Here are like a dozen shawls that you can make with one skein of my yarn. And so it's kind of like a communal thing. I want everyone to be able to, I want you to buy those pretty skeins even if you can just afford one in fingering, and I want you to have something beautiful that you love because I do, because that's what I want, because that's my favorite part, is having something beautiful that I love just for me in colors that I love. And it's like the whole community hugging you, right? Don't you just love this? Aren't you just, forget that it's gray and blue. And just, oh my God, this is driving me crazy. This is just driving me, oh my God. If it was like any other color. Anyway, that is on my list of things to redo when I have cool colors. So I'm excited to see what colors I can come up with this spring, and I'm hoping that I can have some things ready for the fall, for the end of summer, and have some nice fall things for you to work on, and maybe some winter stuff for you to work on. My other plan, if you want to do this, I also want to do my shawls in like a worsted and a DK single skein. The thing is to keep them as a single skein. So if you see any of mine, the Eleanor, the Hillary, the Michelle, if you have a skein of worsted or DK that you want to try to make into that shawl, please contact me, message me wherever, email me wherever, and I will send you the pattern. I will walk you through the measurements if you want to try that on different bases. I won't be able to get to that until way later in the year because I have to I'm focusing on the dyeing right now. So if you're up for a challenge and you want to do that, I would really appreciate it. That'd be cool. Anyone you want to do. I don't care which one you want to do. Anyone you want to do. And then just give me your feedback. Tell me how far you got, and like that list that I do. That's all I want is that list, is what you made it to, and then your 3 ridges, or if you're doing Eleanor, how many repeats, then your 3 ridges, or however many ridges you were, if you could only do 2, whatever. All of that. Because that's gonna be a lot of work for me to redo again every shawl in DK and worsted. I don't think Aran and bulky will work on a 1 skein. They might work on our bias triangle, especially the asymmetrical boomerang. I think I'm gonna call it boomerang. The boomerang shawl will probably maybe work, but we're gonna have to do it like I did with the sport and change it to a stocking net instead of a garter, which is fine. But that's what I'm thinking if we wanted to do Aran and bulky. But I am not planning on offering bulky weight in my shop ever because I hate it. But I do have some cash Aran that I for sure will. Who doesn't love cash Aran? But that's only like 181 yards, so that's pretty much a bulky anyway. Bulky's like 150, so I don't know. But I think everyone should have a cash Aran shawl, and that I'm going to make it my mission to design a 1 skein cash Aran shawl for winter. That's probably, I should probably write that down, because I would like to do a cash Aran shawl for winter. Wouldn't that be a nice thing to buy yourself? Right? Let's put in the fall design cash Aran 1 skein stock bias shawl. And then we could do them in all kinds of cool colorways. Or you could do half and half if you wanted. Whatever. Oh my god, you guys, I have to go. Stop giving me ideas when I'm getting ready to leave, okay? Anyway, thank you for spending time with me. I had so much fun. Oh my god, look at all the brainstorming we did. Lots of brainstorming, and we're like over an hour. I'm going to try to edit this to take it under an hour. But I think we have a good plan. I think it's solid. 2 dye patterns left to go. I think if you've already seen what we've done, I think you can probably guess. So if you want to guess, leave a comment if you want to guess on my 2 remaining dye patterns. Because I was like, duh. And the thing I had wanted to do was speckle. Because the half and half twist, the 3 color. I want to speckle black on those ones to make them even darker. I'm not going to do that, but that was what I wanted to do because I thought I only had 1 left to do, and I was going to do that one and then do 1 normal and then do 1 speckle to see the difference, but I'm not. I think what I'm going to do is, I don't know, but I might do 1 speckle, which is the last one I'm going to do, the May dye pattern. I may eventually, maybe in June, do that one with a speckle, so then you can see what speckle does to the whole look of it if you want. Because the speckle, I'm only going to speckle the color that is the other color. So because they're black, you will speckle black. But now if I'm going to offer grays and charcoals, those will be your speckle color. I'm not going to speckle because I can't speckle on colors that I don't have because I mix mine from the CMYK. So I'm not speckling like liquid dye. No. So, but that was something I decided before I decided to dye, was that I was only going to speckle black. Because I'm a goth dyer. I don't need to speckle any color. But I'm making an exception for whatever grays I offer in the dye patterns. Will be speckled. And maybe when I do my colorways, like variegations, there's not going to be solid colors. I'm going to do a bunch of stuff so that you can either, like if you want to do two, you could, something that you could, like add with black. But I'm going to try to keep black out of it unless it's like black to sparkle, but there's still going to be dark, moody colors. I'm just going to try not have black in them, so you could, like this. But if this red was like a variegation, like maybe a bunch of different reds or something, maybe some speckling, I don't know. We'll get there when we get there. Anyway, signing off because this was supposed to be like a really quick episode. I did not think we were going to have anything to talk about because we don't have a lot to do. We were mostly getting ready for the business. Anyway, thank you for spending 3 hours with me today. Have a wonderful weekend. I will see you next week. Bye.